ASMR Magical Tools. Aries, welcome back, welcome back. Today I will be using both black moonstone and black sunstone for your scrying. There's something about a purple cloud. Now, this could be you are working with pyrotechnics of some kind that create these purple type of clouds. There could be an energy shift for you this week, Aries, that shifts you more toward that end of the spectrum. Now, keep in mind that frequency can be expressed in many different ways, whether that is through audio frequency, light wavelengths. So this might be a purple wavelength. Now, those of you who work within the chakra systems, purple would then be the crown chakra here at the top of the head and be the most connected to divine source. So that's also possible. I want you to take a walk with me down memory lane, though. It seems like we are coming back around again to the top of this cycle that would have begun perhaps with infrared wavelength and might have had more to do with the root chakra, or that might be how this journey is being expressed through the color spectrum. And it seems like there are different stages along the way that you have been undergoing and working within. And so now you are getting to a point where you have worked through all of these things and we are coming to completion. Chiron is also at this time retrograde in your sign. So the Chiron being healing all of these parts of yourself, healing all the parts of yourself that are specific to your Aries temperament, right? But that affecting you possibly also more so than other signs, directly speaking. So that while a lot of the other signs of the zodiac are still affected by these things, that the direct effect on you is more complete. Now, as this relates specifically to some of these different parts of your life, what are we looking for this week, Aries? Don't just fall into the trap of being over it. Even though you are completing a growth cycle at this time, there is still the need to follow through, like with your golf swing, so that you don't get a case of senioritis. One thing that I have mentioned before in relation to Chiron retrograde in Aries is beginning things but not finishing them. Think about your golf swing. You can't just stop once you hit the ball, you have to follow all the way through and have that good arc with your golf swing so that the ball will go where you want it to go. Now, I'm not a golfer. I just know the terminology. I don't even endorse the playing of golf. I think it's a vast waste of resources, honestly. But that would be, I guess hitting a baseball would be similar. Having the follow through of your swing. Any of these trajectory related sports, you have to follow through the arc of the movement in order to get the result you desire. All right, Aries. And if you would, direct your questions here into the cover of this book. All right. Much prosperity will attend the wedded pair. So this could be about a marriage that you will be undertaking in the week ahead, or a partnership. It could even relate to a business contract. Now remember that this week, at the end of the week, Mercury will be going into retrograde. And especially because Mercury will be retrograde in Libra, that can have to do with legal agreements. So anything that you would be undertaking while Mercury is retrograde, it would be preferable energetically if it were something that you have had going on for some time now. But whatever it is, it should be prosperous. Aries, thank you so much for joining me for your reading. If you enjoyed it, please let me know down in the comments. Your likes and your subscriptions are also greatly appreciated. We're working on 1,500 subscribers right now. And until next time, I look forward to seeing you again very soon. Taurus, welcome back. Welcome back, welcome back. Taurus, I will be using for the readings this week Black Sunstone and Black Moonstone. Black Sunstone and Black Moonstone. Egregious crimes perpetrated against you, Taurus. These are things that you almost don't believe because they're so horrific. Now, I don't mean necessarily that we are talking about war crimes here, but sometimes there's an element of gaslighting that takes place in which you literally can't believe something is happening because there's no way that somebody would be that callous or that horrible. And I think that it's possible that something like that might be happening to you this week. Now, I don't mean to be a bummer. Obviously, it's not like the best thing to say to somebody. But I do think that you will be able to move beyond it very easily. I don't think this is something that is going to hold you back long term. I just think that you're going to be a bit shocked, actually, by how you've been treated by this person. And this could be a romantic partner. It could be a boss. This could be a work situation. It could be several people at once, like a peer group of some kind that you're a part of. This could put them in the sphere of, this could be online bullying even, or this could be a situation in which you're being canceled by a group of people for unjust reasons. There's all kinds of cancel culture is a little bit tricky. I wouldn't say that I've never seen situations where it wasn't used effectively to call somebody out on their behavior. But the problem is that more often than that, it is used as a political tool in friend groups to control the behaviors of its members and to control the hierarchy among those friend groups, which is very discouraging. Those people obviously are not your real friends. Anybody who's your real friend is going to stand up to that kind of behavior and say, hey, I think that you need to reconsider your stance on this person. Have you even considered talking to them personally? But the truth is that this is not going to be a permanent setback to you, and in fact, it's really just going to call out to you the reasons why it is not good for you to maintain connections to this group of people, whoever they might be. The reality of the situation is very apparent to you. Excuse me. And for some of the members of this group, it is also very apparent. But there are going to be some aspects of this which others find difficult to swallow, especially people who maybe have a less than favorable opinion of you. I don't know how that's possible. All the Taurians I've known have been pretty cool people, but I suppose anything is possible, and especially if somebody has been spreading lies about you. Because this doesn't necessarily have to be, unfortunately, it could be a work situation where somebody is going around the workplace spreading untruths and falsehoods about you, for their own benefit. So, Taurus, what is it that you need to do over the week ahead? The best thing you can do is be warned that that's a possibility, because the less caught off guard you are by this situation, the more easily you will just shrug it off. Because this is the kind of thing that you should just shrug off. Really not having a lot of bearing on your life outside of what you allow. Alright, Taurus, and if you would, just direct your questions here into the cover of the book. Alright. It's a very webby question. It has a lot to it. All right. I guess this makes a lot of sense. When thou understandest thoroughly the grounds of thy suit, proceed justly, and in the end thou wilt triumph. Alright, Taurus, well, I hope this helps. If you enjoyed your reading this week, please let me know down in the comments. Your likes and your channel subscriptions are also greatly appreciated. We are working on 1,500 subscribers. I honestly did not think I would get this far. And until next time, I look forward to seeing you again very soon. Hello, Gemini. Welcome back. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Welcome back, Gemini. This will be your reading this week for September 20th through the 26th. I'm going to be using black moonstone and black sunstone. Look how sparkly it is. Really beautiful. Gemini, come prepared. There's like a book I'm seeing like passages in a book that you should have read and that you are perhaps supposed to be studying for something. This could be a class. I know a lot of people are back in school now. This could also be for like a book club, possibly of some kind, and that you were meant to read some chapters of some book in preparation for this book club meeting. The importance behind being prepared for this is that you are expected to give feedback. This could even be a book or a screenplay or a piece of fiction or a poetry book or something like that was written by a friend, and this friend has enlisted your help in editing and revising of this material in preparation for its publication. Preparation for publication. So it could be that you are helping a friend get a manuscript ready for something. And they trust you because you have expertise in this area. This is some kind of thing that you would be working on closely with this person. And it's important that you have read it ahead of time. Because if you haven't, I think they might kind of pull back on the project. It might be the kind of deal where if they perceive in you an unwillingness to help, even if that's just a perception, that they might pull back a lot from you and from the situation. And so for you to be enthusiastic about this situation, whatever it might be, is going to be crucial to their success. Now, granted, it would be great if we could all just put burners under our own butts and have that be effective, but not everybody can maintain that and can live that way. And if they have a friend like you who is willing to help, then that might make all the difference. Gemini. I'm hearing like, how old are you, or how old are they? There might be an age differential here too. That because they don't have the same life experience as you, that they haven't had successful projects under their belt yet, and so they aren't thinking about it in the same kind of way of looking at the long-term goal that you might be approaching things at this point in your life. Likewise, if this is somebody who is much older than you, they may not have the energy of youth. They might be somebody who's very tied in to the working world. And thus, these creative pursuits seem a bit beyond them. Seem, but are not. It's just the perspective that sometimes you get when you get tunnel vision really badly. And having you on their side and helping out enthusiastically again might just make all the difference. All right, Gemini. We just need to put your questions in the book here. As thou hopest for success, act not unjustly toward others. Gemini, thank you so much for joining me for your reading this week. If you enjoyed it, please let me know down in the comments section. Your likes and your subscriptions are also greatly appreciated. I'm getting very close to 1,500 subscribers, and I just want to thank all of you so much for being here and for showing up for me and for all of us. And until next time, I look forward to seeing you again very soon. Hello, Cancer. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. So, the crystals that I will be using for the scrying this week are black moonstone and black sunstone. In Cancer, there's a divisive moment possibly for you this week in which you'll decide if you want to stay where you have been or if you want to make a move. I feel like there could be brand new things coming in for you, but it's going to depend on your own use of the situation. That there are things holding you back at this time also, and that those things are prisons of your own design, such that if you want to go out and grasp for yourself these new opportunities, that there may be a need to cast aside things which are no longer necessary for your survival, is what I'm hearing. But it's also things that fit into your life still. Some things are no longer necessary for your life, and thus they might be holding you back. Now, this isn't in the sense of comfort, and in fact, I feel like these are things that might be getting in the way of your comfort. Actually, when you get right down to it, there's like some habits that you're holding on to, and sometimes there are things in our lives that we think are doing us so many favors, but that actually, if you look at it from an objective point of view, that these are things that actually are a detriment and are much more complicated than what we would have to do otherwise. There's some kind of indecision, possibly too, about a situation, and this indecision, if you would just go ahead and make a plan and stick to it, that it would all work out just fine. But it's a matter of just making that plan and sticking to it, and not getting caught up in the vagaries of existence, the vagaries of a particular situation, that such that you might have surrendered a lot of your control in a situation just merely by inaction and not taking steps forward. So I encourage you, Cancer, to do a reevaluating session. Write things down, take notes, cross things off lists, and look at what of these things fit together in a way that is going to be conducive to your success. The more things that kind of fit together, the more cumulative of an effect you have the potential for those things all to have together, rather than all these little scattered pieces which don't really add up to very much. So keep that in mind moving forward this week. All right, Cancer, and if you would, send your questions my way. I'm going to put them here in the book. So hope still, never despair, and fortune will shower her favors on thee, if thou couplest justice with prudence. Couplest justice with prudence. Cancer, thank you so much for joining me today. If you enjoyed your reading this week, please let me know down in the comments. Your likes and your channel subscriptions are also greatly appreciated. I'm very close to 1,500 subscribers, and I'm incredibly grateful to all of you for showing up here to to make that possible. And until next time, I look forward to seeing you again very soon. Hello, Leo. Welcome back. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Leo, for your reading this week, I'm going to be using black sunstone and black moonstone, sun and moon. Leo, there's something contrived about something that you're doing, that you feel like you can't give 110% to some endeavor that you're a part of at this time. And to some extent, it is better to fake it till you make it rather than not do things at all. It can't always just be an all or nothing proposition. There are going to be days where you show up for work and you're just not feeling it, and that is perfectly acceptable. However, in this particular case, I think this is driving a larger reevaluation of a particular situation, that you might not be intrinsically aligned with whatever this is at this time, even if there were periods in the past where you were very aligned with this endeavor, and that it's not necessary for you to quit. I do hear that it could be holding you back, but that's only because of time constraints, right? You only have so many hours in a day, and if you are spending your time on something that you are mostly enjoying, but that is not fully part of your passions anymore, that could be something which would benefit from reevaluation. This thing in Leo's life, is this something that they should be doing at this time? Yes, I think that for a lot of you, this is something that it's good for you to continue doing this thing, and that it's all right to not show up fully 115% every time, because that's just a little bit unrealistic. It's a little bit unrealistic to expect to show up 115% every time. People do expect a lot out of you, especially in creative endeavors. And there's this idea that if you are not putting, X, Y, or Z amount of effort into something, that it won't be good. But there's the other side of that too, where if you are putting in a lot of effort, that's not a guarantee that your result is going to be amazing, right? Especially if you are putting in effort and you are not putting it into the right places, or if you are putting in effort and you're just kind of off the market. You could be incredibly passionate about something and still not be good at it. And I'm not saying that that's the case here, but there are other cases where the inverse is true, that you might just be naturally good at something, and that it's more important for you to show up consistently than it is for you to necessarily be there 110% all of the time. All of the time. You have to trust the process. I know that's kind of become a cliche over the past year or so, trusting the process, but it really is a relevant thing to say about a lot of these experiences. Just that it's more important for you to be there than it is for you to be wholly immersed in an experience. Which one of you did this to the corner of my book? I'm kidding. I did that to the corner of my book. Alright, Leo, and if you would, send your questions my way. And let's see if we can answer them. This seems appropriate. Long life depends greatly on temperance. Long life depends greatly on temperance. That there are going to be highs and lows. But remember what I often say about temperance, it is a matter of mastery. And that could apply to a lot of different situations in your life, Leo. Thank you so much for joining me for your reading this week. If you enjoyed it, please let me know down in the comments. Your likes and your subscriptions are also greatly appreciated. I'm very close to 1,500 subscribers. And I really appreciate all of you who have subscribed and made that possible. And until next time, I look forward to seeing you again very soon. Hello, Virgo. Hello, welcome back. Welcome back, welcome back. Virgo, for the readings this week, I will be using black moonstone, and I will also be using black sunstone. It's very, very sparkly, very sparkly. Virgo, I'm seeing like a folder, like a manila folder, and there's really not very much in it. And but there has been a label with a red edge, one of those white labels that have the multicolored edges. It's been affixed to the flap of the manila folder where they put the label. There's nothing written on it yet. There's some kind of situation for you right now where there is something brand new that the narrative literally has not been written yet. The narrative literally does not yet exist. Only the idea, only the concept behind it. Now, this folder is very empty. It's very free of markings on the surface. It's brand new. It has had the label affixed. Nothing has been written on it yet. There might be one piece of blank paper inside. What is this? The purpose of this folder? What is this folder for? It's to document your progress. So it's just a symbol at this point, a symbol of this endeavor which is about to begin for you. And is this beginning the week of September 20th? For a lot of you, yes, this is an endeavor which will be beginning the week of September 20th. It might be starting about a month later in mid-October. I am hearing the date October 18th. A lot of our retrograde planets will be going direct in mid-October, and that could be the reason behind this. I think Jupiter, specifically retrograde in Aquarius, when that goes direct, that is going to be the determining factor on this particular situation. Let's see. Yeah, and Jupiter is going direct October 18th, so that is exactly what I'm getting about that. Virgo, what can you do in the meantime to get ready for this situation coming in? There's if you've ever been to an old country buffet, I'm not speaking specifically about the chain of restaurants. I'm talking more about the genre of restaurants. You could also think about a Cracker Barrel, which has a store, like a country store attached. It's like a country store attached to a restaurant, and there might be all-you-can-eat type options at this restaurant. So, I think this represents a few things, okay? So one thing that it represents is a retreat from urban life to a simpler way of living. Simpler way of living. I'm getting specifically jams and jellies. So jams and jellies are sweet, but they are also a way of preserving the vitamins in fruit, such as vitamin C, which is very important during the winter months. So, enjoying your intake of nutrients. Jams and jellies are predominantly sugar, so they're more of a dessert item or a condiment than they are a nutritive form of fruits and vegetables, but they are also of nutritional value. In some ways, they're not totally devoid of nutritional value. Oftentimes, jams and jellies are presented as gifts, a heartwarming kind of gift that could have been made by someone with a lot of care. This is not necessarily the case, but those are the ones that I'm seeing. I'm not seeing like Smucker's mass-produced jams and jellies. And I'm not seeing a lot of pickles either. So this is something with wide appeal. A pickle has a very specific, narrow appeal. And then additionally, salad bar. Yeah, I'm hearing about a salad bar. A lot of focus on vitamin content in your food this time, Virgo. Because this is going to be taking us even to the edge of Libra season, so that we'll be right there on the border of Scorpio season by the time this comes around again. And just the idea that with a country buffet or Cracker Barrel is a chain, but there is the idea that there is a lot of care. That's overwhelmingly the sense that I'm getting, is that there is a lot of care between individuals, that people are treated like individuals, and there is care given to each. I speak not of Cracker Barrel specifically. That was just something that came into my head as a more symbolic type gesture. But if you've ever been to a home cooking type place, the people who prepare soul food and home cooking style food for others generally have a high level of care for those people they are cooking food for, and that is their way of expressing that. That is the love language that they are presenting to the public. Alright, Virgo, and if you would, send me your questions. Send your questions here into this book. And I will endeavor to find a response for them. Those concerning whom thou art anxious are prosperous and happy. So you might be overly concerned with the needs of others, when in fact their needs are being more than met. Alright, Virgo. Well, thank you so much for joining me for your readings this week. If you enjoyed this reading, please let me know down in the comments. Your likes and your channel subscriptions are also greatly appreciated. And until next time, I look forward to seeing you again very soon. Hello, Libra. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Libra, for your readings this week, I'm going to be using black moonstone and black sunstone. It's very, very sparkly, very sparkly, very sparkly. Libra, I'm hearing either you are alone or you have taken out a loan. Not like a financial loan, but like taking out a book on loan, or being loaned somebody's car, possibly. Could be a sweater. And you're making a very early Neil Young oriented joke about it and saying it's a loner, like that song. It's a loner. Whenever anyone asks you, oh, what a great sweater, and you say, thanks, it's a loner. But all dad jokes aside, there's some organizing you're going to have to do. The reason you had to borrow this thing in the first place is that there was something out of order in your own life. So out of order could be not working. Out of order could also be in disarray. And I certainly don't judge, only that I think at this time it's affecting your efficacy, affecting your effectiveness, and that you'd be better served if you were able to find things in your own closet rather than in your friends' closets, in the closets of your friends, in the windmills of your mind. But Libra, it is a very flattering sweater. I think it has holes in it. I don't mean like necessarily that it has picked holes in it. I mean like the thumb holes in the sleeves. I think it's got thumb holes in the sleeves. Now, if this is a sweater, that could pertain to the design of the sweater. But that is a comfort-seeking feature for sweaters, that you would be able to put your thumbs through the holes in the sleeves. And so whatever this is that you have borrowed from another person, that is a comfort-seeking feature on your part. The tangled webs we weave, Libra, tangled webs we weave. I say this because, when you borrow something from another person, there's always this kind of like, are you going to give it back or not? And everybody always says that they're going to give something back, but how often do they actually give something back? I typically do not loan anything out that I ever expect to see again. If I loan it to somebody, I'm basically giving it to them, because there's just, I think I've talked about before, like musical equipment. If your piece of musical equipment is not functioning properly, there's a high likelihood that if I let you borrow mine that is exactly the same, that mine will be returned not in full working order also. So that's something I've mentioned before, but that is a unique function of borrowing something from somebody, that if you're borrowing something because yours isn't working, there's also a likelihood that the borrowed item could become broken or damaged also. I'm not saying, Libra, I'm not saying that's what's going to happen necessarily, but I think that this item was borrowed through comfort-seeking behavior. And perhaps it will become a birthday present, but don't treat it like a birthday present. Treat it like someone else's possession. Assumptions should not be made, I guess is what I'm saying, about the possession transfer to you. Alright, Libra, if you would, direct your questions here at the cover of this book, and I will endeavor to answer them for you. And I apologize, it sounds like there might be somebody blowing outside, but I'll be done with this very quickly. Give not large fees in this suit. So that also is urging you not to necessarily borrow things of high financial value, but rather to keep the stakes very low. Libra, thank you so much for joining me today. If you enjoyed your weekly reading, please let me know down in the comments. Your likes and your subscriptions are also greatly appreciated. I'm getting very close to 1,500 subscribers, and I'm very grateful to all of you who showed up video after video to make that possible. And finally, Libra, until next time, I look forward to seeing you again very soon. Hi, Scorpio. Welcome back. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Scorpio, for the crystal scrying this week, I will be using black moonstone, and I will also be using black sunstone. Black sunstone. It's so sparkly. It's so sparkly, Scorpio. Scorpio, there might be something you're doing that's a detriment to your health, but you don't realize it. This could be something that you think is actually quite good for you. I'm hearing about peeling, so this could be a chemical peel. Could be about eating the peeling of a specific kind of fruit or vegetable also. That's also a possibility. But more so than doing the research about it, I think there is observing the result. Things are very difficult to see right away. And I think each person's physiognomy is unique. And so this might be something that if someone else were to eat it, it would be fine. But because of your own personal allergies and other constraints on your physiognomy, that there could be something related to that this week that you should reevaluate in your health habits. Something about a sign tomorrow. That there's seeing a person hold up two fingers like this, maybe, which could be like a salute. It could also just be like a benediction. It's a warning, perhaps. Why would it be a warning? They're giving you the signal to pass through, and not to turn at a certain place, or not to slow down or stop. And what is the context of this situation? This could be while you're driving on the road, and it could be parkway. This could be on the parkway. I don't know where everyone lives, so this could be particular. I don't know if you have a parkway where you live. It always seemed strange to me that you would drive on a parkway. But, you know, enough dad jokes. The people who have seen you driving around are starting to get used to you being there. Now, this could be positive, you know, that people are starting to pick up on your habits and your routines, so that when you're not there, there's concern. I'm seeing it as like a level of concern for your safety, that people see you drive around regularly, and that if they were to miss you on a particular day, it is meant in concern and not in like I'm spying on you, but just that I have a healthy level of concern for when you are missing from your normal routines. Yeah, a lot of safety concerns this week, and not safety concerns in that I think you're in danger. Scorpio, only safety concerns in that there are aspects of your daily life and daily routines which just need to be tweaked just a little bit in order to improve your overall safety and lifestyle. Alright, Scorpio, and if you would, direct your questions here into the cover of this book. And we'll take one more from the corner here. Just kind of gently peel that up. Impediments will start up which thou dreamest not of. So, like I mentioned before, this is not so much about your personal safety being in grave danger. I think there are just some matters here in which you should be more careful, and that those will be coming up this week. And I say this, of course, not to cause you undue concern. My aim with all of these videos is just to provide you with any extra information that might help you throughout the course of your week. Scorpio, thank you so much for joining me this week. If you enjoyed your reading, please let me know down in the comments. Your likes and your channel subscriptions are also greatly appreciated. I'm very close now to 1,500 subscribers, and I honestly never thought I'd even get to that point. So thank you to everyone who shows up week after week who made that possible. And until next time, I look forward to seeing you again very soon. Sagittarius, welcome back. Welcome back, Sagittarius. For the readings this week, I am using black moonstone, and I am also using black sunstone. And I feel like this week you're going to carefully watch both directions before crossing the street. I see busy 5-way intersections, but you're on foot, you're not in a car. So one thing that's coming up in regards to this is EMDR, eye movement desensitization reprogramming. And this is heavily documented in the book by Bessel van der Kolk called The Body Keeps the Score. If you have trauma or PTSD, I definitely recommend reading this book. Even if you just suffer from a lot of fear and anxiety, I think you could benefit from it also. Basically, eye movement desensitization reprogramming talks about the amygdala, I think, and how when our eyes are moving laterally back and forth, we are unable to process a fear response. And so what you do is you bring up that trauma to the surface of your mind, and you use lateral eye movement to reprogram and desensitize you to that fear. And I'm bringing this up in the context of whatever this intersection is, because the reason that we do not process fear when we are perceiving lateral eye movement, right? I'm sure you've seen, if you're into ASMR videos, you've seen plenty of EMDR videos here on YouTube. And the reason I'm bringing this up is because a busy intersection, your eyes are already darting back and forth, and paying attention to what is going on around you. And so there's a disconnect between the processing of these outside stimuli and the fear response in the brain. And I think, Sagittarius, that this could come up for you this week. Why am I anxious in these situations where things are there's a lack of stimuli around me? And when I am in a situation that's kind of chaotic and overstimulating, I'm not having the same anxiety response. I think that could be something that is coming up for you this week. And the answer may very well have to do with EMDR and the principles behind it. Alright, Sagittarius, and if you would, direct your questions here to the cover of this book, and I will endeavor to answer them. So it signifieth recovery from illness, and the patient may look forward to length of days. Sagittarius, thank you so much for joining me for your crystal scrying this week. If you enjoyed your forecast, please let me know down in the comments. Your likes and your channel subscriptions are also greatly appreciated. I am very close now to 1,500 subscribers, and I'm very grateful for all of your love and support here on the channel. And until next time, Sagittarius, I look forward to seeing you again very soon. Hello, Capricorn. Hello, welcome back. Welcome back, Capricorn. Welcome back. Capricorn, for the readings this week, I am using this black moonstone, and I'm also using this black sunstone. It's very sparkly, very sparkly, very sparkly indeed. Capricorn, there's one of those hats. Santa hats sometimes look like this, but I also have a hat from Estonia, which is a long triangle with a pom-pom on the end, on the very end, so that it is a long cap that drapes off of the head. And sometimes, like in the case of it being a Santa cap, it can be trimmed with a band of fur around the head. And I'm getting an impression of this hat. Why? You've been asked to go somewhere that might get cold, and there's an aspect of this that is performative in a very joyful and fun kind of a way, almost to bring out childlike aspects of the self. That this hat goes along with ice skates and toboggans, and is very much suited toward cold weather apparel. And I feel like there's not as much of a performative aspect to this as there is that you have been invited to go somewhere. And this could be to hang out with friends or with family, people who are close to you, cultivating intimacy with others in a cold weather environment. I can't tell if this is a close-knit group of friends or if it is family. I feel like it could be the family of a close friend, and you have been adopted, so to speak. Delicious soups, like a chicken soup, very good chicken soup. I'm getting a sense of that. A very quaint cottage in a very snowy atmosphere. It's all snow. I can't see trees. I can't see mountains or anything. This little quaint cottage is set down in the middle of this huge field of snow. And the smoke curling out of the chimney. And it's very cozy and warm inside of this house, and very cold outside. I feel like, too, for some of you, this could be the idea that within you is this quaint little cottage that's very cozy inside, and that there is this fostering of the inner child occurring, and of course the delicious chicken soup, but that the exterior might be cold, might be very cold and very, I'm hearing unforgiving and unrelenting and harsh, but that's not necessarily it either. A field of snow like that is basically a blank canvas also. So not just that this is cold and an austere exterior, but also that this might be an emotional blank canvas onto which anyone might project any particular emotion or response. If there's nothing there, people can project all kinds of things onto what they are perceiving there. And so this next week, September 20th through the 26th, just be aware of the projections that others may or may not put on you based around your interactions with them, as well as your interactions with your inner self, inner itself. I feel like there's very much a sense of having been adopted also by the family of a close friend. Alright, Capricorn, if you would kindly direct your questions here into the cover of this book, and we shall see what we shall see. Let thy heart be cheered under thy misfortunes, for prosperity will return to thee in due season. So I don't know that you're necessarily going through a hard time, but this is a reminder that in due season, as we are entering the fall now in the northern hemisphere, perhaps by spring your fortune will have changed for the better. Capricorn, if you enjoyed your reading this week, please let me know down in the comments. I do enjoy seeing you week after week. Your likes and your channel subscriptions are also greatly appreciated. I'm getting very close now to 1,500 subscribers, and I greatly appreciate everyone who shows up here week after week who has made this possible. And until we meet again, I look forward to seeing you again very soon. Hello, Aquarius. Hello, welcome back. Welcome back, welcome back. Aquarius, for the crystal scrying this week, I'm going to be using black moonstone and black sunstone. It's very sparkly, Aquarius. Aquarius, you're so close to having Jupiter out of retrograde in your sign. So Saturn is going to be going direct on October 11th, and Jupiter will be going direct on October 18th. October 18th, October 18th. And I mention this because they've been hanging out in your sign since late last year. And have been retrograde for some time. Now, I don't think this is necessarily ruining your life. No, that's not what I'm saying. I think, however, there might be complications associated with this occurrence that you may or may not even be acknowledging, that you may or may not have even considered. And I'm getting the sense of purification that there is. I see it as you in a stream washing a bucket full of clothing. But this is not necessarily just about washing a bucket full of clothing. There's also aspects of this which are purely metaphorical. So you could be doing laundry, but But that's obviously not the totality of what I'm seeing here. Now, another aspect of this is we don't really think about how much laundry can contribute to the overall cleanliness of a space. And so I think that is why it is showing up here. That the laundry itself, obviously, you want your clothing to be clean and to smell good. But by that same token, dirty laundry building up in the corners of a living space can cause mildew, it can cause odor, and you might not even be thinking about it as the source of an odor, but it could definitely be a contributor to the odor of a space. It can also have to do with your airing of dirty laundry being secrets or being negative aspects of your own personality which you are afraid to show to others. And so by cleaning your dirty laundry, doing that shadow work, you have eliminated those sources of discomfort in the presence of others. And I think that these might be side effects related to the retrogrades in your sign, but that this is something obviously that has been coming on for some time. And that is the nature of the retrogrades. As a matter of fact, that these things come up during retrogrades because they are things that need to be worked upon. Alright, Aries, and sorry, Aquarius. Sorry, Aquarius. I mean Aquarius, I don't mean Aries. But perhaps there are some traits of Aries which have been coming through for you at this time. Remember, too, that we have Chiron retrograde in Aries at this time. And you can go back and watch my astrology videos for each week if you have any more questions about that. Or you can direct them right here. Friends are so scarce that when found, they are to be valued above all price. Aquarius, thank you so much for joining me for your crystal scrying forecast today. If you enjoyed your forecast, please let me know down in the comments. Your likes and your channel subscriptions are also greatly appreciated. I'm getting very close to 1,500 subscribers, and I really appreciate everyone who shows up week after week who has made that possible. And until next time, I look forward to seeing you again very soon. Hello, Pisces. Welcome back. Welcome back, Pisces. Welcome back. Pisces, For the scrying this week, I am using this black moonstone and this black sunstone, which is so sparkly. It's so sparkly, Pisces. Pisces, I'm hearing simultaneously, give it a break, and also something to the effect of you are not unique in this regard. Basically, somebody is saying that you're not special, but I don't like putting it like that. But there are all kinds of situations where that might be something that is actually comforting to hear. And I feel like this is in regard to your own personal well-being, insofar as there is a situation going on where you're being kind of hard on yourself, where you're kind of being unrelenting toward yourself, Pisces. And I'm really not sure what this would look like on an individual level, especially because typically one of the traits of being Piscean is, as a mutable water sign, being very flexible and being able to see multiple sides to a situation, which would perhaps allow you to cut yourself some more slack. But in this particular case, this is something like wanting to save the world, wanting to be able to protect everyone, regardless of deserving, regardless of how much you may or may not like the person. But there's definitely a lot of savior complex coming through for you this week, Pisces. And so the two things that I am supposed to say to you, or that I am hearing coming through for you, rather, I am not really supposed to say anything to you, as far as these readings are concerned. I'm putting it out there, putting this energy out there, but I don't feel like I owe you, the audience, anything. Hopefully these are things you find helpful, but I also don't feel like I'm the only one who knows. I'm the only one who can channel stones. I'm the only one who can read cards well enough to give you these messages. I'm just one of many who have tapped into the great stream of consciousness in a way that allows me to pass these messages on to you. And in this particular case, Pisces, I have Leo, my sun sign, in my 12th house, which gives me a tendency to be a fortune teller, for better or for worse. In your case, Pisces, I feel like there are aspects of this that could have been avoided through less indulgent childhood years. And I don't mean indulgent in that you were spoiled necessarily, or that you had more advantages than anyone else. There are different kinds of indulgences, and one of which is the idea that you are special in some way that no one else is. That is incredibly rare and incredibly unlikely. And I'm not saying these things because I want you to feel not good about yourself. Quite to the contrary. Once you realize that you are not the only person in the world who has these gifts, you don't feel burdened. You don't feel burdened by it, and you don't feel an obligation to push an agenda. And I think that's what's coming through most for you this week, Pisces. It's a very interesting scrying for you this week, Pisces. I certainly hope not to have offended anyone, and I hope my messages have come across the way that I have intended, and the way that they were intended. And if you would, Pisces, please direct your questions here into the cover of this book, and I will endeavor to find some particle of wisdom within these pages. Let's see. Alright, yes, I'll take this one here. And I'll take this one here. And I will also take this one right down here. Let not expense be an obstacle to the restoration of the patient's health. So, in the context of what we have discussed, you are not solely responsible for the well-being of another person. And in fact, it's important for you to be able to seek out the help you need when you are helping others. Pisces, thank you so much for joining me for your crystal scrying this week. If you enjoyed the messages here, please let me know down in the comments. Your likes and your channel subscriptions are also greatly appreciated. I have reached 1,500 channel subscribers, and I'm very appreciative for all of you who show up week after week to make that possible. And until we meet again, I look forward to seeing you again very soon.